Three claps, your boy Swain's back at it again. Swain's Swaggy Sense. And in today's video is going to be a little bit different. What I'll be going over is I'll be talking about how you shouldn't compare yourself to others, reviewers, and also how to find your own personal niche, like your own personal way of doing things to set you apart. And without further ado, let's get into this review. So this video might be short or long, depending on however I flow with this this video that I'm giving to y'all. And this came over to me because of, like, once again, these long bouts of me not posting frequently or just being on top of the YouTube game that I so love to do, as far as expressing how much I like fragrances, people that like fragrances that are my subscribers, and so on. And but before we go into depths with that conversation, I'm gonna go over what my scent of the day would be and it's going to be from the house of Mercedes-Benz, and that's Mercedes-Benz Select. All right, so this is another take on Creed Aventus. You know, there's so many clones and dupes of that thing. It's just kind of like, I don't even know why they're even trying to keep selling Creed Aventus, because at this point it's just like all of the other dupes and clones are kind of, I believe, are outselling the actual Creed. So but it's still definitely a staple. But with this, you have, let me get another spray, because there we go. That was better. Even though it was kind of like the similar spray to the first one, I like the second one better. But you have your bergamot, you have your mint, you have your apple, you have your musk tone. You know, it has a more fruitier and a more airy take on Creed. I believe it's more aromatic too. It's more close to the skin and just fresh. This is more of a beachy scent. It's, you know, great for the weather that we're having around where I live at. It's around maybe at this point 60 something degrees, which it'll climb up to in the low 70s. So happy about that. But I get about, you know, 6 to 8 hours on this fragrance. Still available on, you know, your discount store, your discount online stores, and haven't really been seeing them in any type of rack stores or anything like that. So if you do happen to see it, you should grab it. And yeah, so just kind of point that out and say this is gonna be my scent of the day. All right, so to the actual topic of the video, not comparing yourself to different reviewers or just others in general. You know, this kind of came over me today while I was at work, you know, early in the morning, you know, probably while all of y'all are still asleep. And it just dawned upon me where it's just kind of like, sometimes when people have creative ideas, they somewhat limit themselves in terms of they're not sure how to go about it or how it's even going to come about. And when you start to see other people do it, you start to get influenced. And, you know, some of the people that influenced me, I'm not going to say any of their names. They probably know who they are, you know, in terms of the people who helped pioneer and pave the way for me to actually have my stepping stone to be confident in front of this camera, explaining how much I love certain fragrances and explaining to you on fragrances that you should pick up, or maybe pick up if you want to. But yeah, so the concept of when you are going into a space, whatever space that may be, work, relationships, and YouTube, specifically in this video for YouTube purposes, when you get into a mode and when you have the motivation to actually start, it becomes a thing where when you see these people that you have looked up to with such a large amount of people that are subscribed to their channel, deals, offers, and all of these types of things, you start to put and implement in your mind, like, that's going to be me. Like, I have somewhat of a similar collection, or I am just that confident in myself. I'm gonna push myself to do it. And sometimes it doesn't work out the way that you want to, meaning it's gonna take some time. And that's one thing that I had to realize for myself too. When you start to look at certain people that are at a level in or status in their life, and you start to look at them as in some form not idols, but you just say to yourself that I can do that too. And then once you're in that space, you don't see the similar, I would say, similar reward that you would see from the opposite person that you viewed. And sometimes that can kind of be that can kind of stifle your growth in terms of making progress and proceeding on to doing what you want to do. And I'm here to tell you, I was there. I'm still in that mainframe, but I check myself a lot because they're not me. And when I'm doing my thing, that's my thing. And one of the things that I was starting to realize, that you have to use the strengths that you start to see as you start to edit your videos, and just in your daily life, you start to kind of incumbent that and connect that with other portions of your life to kind of create your foundation that creates your niche. And I always believed that I was charismatic. I'm still charismatic. I still have a great sense of humor. There's a lot of things that made me create who I wanted to create on this platform. And I think sometimes some people try to emulate another person to see if that works out in the same way. Now, that's not to say that you can't take key points or some advice or some little gems from other reviewers or other people that you have gotten advice, or you've seen something from that video that you wanted to take into account and be like, oh, let me put that to my mental. But at the end of the day, it's you that's behind this camera. It's you that's doing the work. It's you that's in this relationship. It's you that's doing whatever. And at the end of the day, it's just you. So you have to create yourself to separate yourself from everyone else. And that is one of the most encouraging things that someone could do for people that may be looking up to that person and may not even know. So that it was going to be a short video. Like I said, I just wanted to speak my mind on this subject because it was on my mind. And you just have to kind of create, and you don't even realize how creative you could possibly be because you are stumped because of the fact on, like, you may be moving slower than others in life or in a particular situation in your life. So I think it's one of those where it's just like you can't really judge your journey off of someone else's journey. And like I said, that goes across the board in all facets of life, not just this YouTube stuff, all facets. You can't really put your finger on something and say, like, I'm gonna make it at this time. That's a good rubric, but life has a certain way of humbling you, and life has also a way of saying that it's not your time because you have more things to learn. You have more things to be able to instill in yourself before you put out your product. That's just kind of like school when you're studying. You can't, some people are just school savvy. They go in there and they just get an A in the test. But for others, like myself, when I was in school, I had to do and put hours into studying in order for me to get the same outcome as the person that didn't really take that long to study for. And even though that might have been frustrating, I still got there. But in a sense, it built and created more character within myself to be able to handle a little bit more of opportunities and maybe some downhill battles, so I can be able to navigate more so with life, and so I can make my life better. And in the hindsight, I can help others to maybe give them advice and give y'all advice and gems and stuff like that to kind of put in your back pocket that would help you move forward in whatever that is too. So that was my whole spiel. I don't want to make this like a therapy session. That was kind of on my mind this morning, so I just wanted to share with y'all. And and I'm back on the platform, like I said, with these hiatuses. it's one of those where you just have to take a break sometimes, because you can't involve yourself or immerse yourself in something so much that you start to lose who you are, because that's not, you're creating a character that's not you. You know, like what is it, the Big Sean's verse? He was basically saying that, you know, and one man can change the world. He was basically saying, like, when he met Jim Carrey, he said, you're not the only one who got rich wearing masks. So it's just like, some people don't really know who you are. And I think when you can find yourself like your boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got the swag, and you know, I got the charisma and the wittiness and all of that, and you know. But regardless, be who you are. Obviously, there are going to be some changes that you would need to do in order for you to implement more progression in your life and more success in your life, so you can be able to do the things that your purpose is. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Push that notification bell when I do post videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.